Hello and welcome back to Living Not Existing. As always, I'm Josh, and well, you can probably hear me better, but I think I'm alright in here, so I'll put that aside for now. But yeah, so as we know, the UK is now on lockdown, and so basically none of us can do anything pretty much, or so we think, because I have found out that Mr. Michael Gove has officially, he's actually used the word allotment as well, so there can't even be any sort of trying to loophole this. We're allowed down our allotments, which is brilliant because it's classified as self-isolating still and everything. We're far enough apart on them. Obviously, if you talk to someone over your fence, obviously keep at least 2 meters apart, at least. And yeah, so basically we're okay to go down there so we can crack on, which is what I have been doing basically. So yeah, so in today's video, basically what I'm going to be showing is I'm going to be making a start on getting all the herb garden sorted out again. Because, as you saw before, obviously started turning a couple of bits over a couple of episodes ago. But, obviously it's a big mess. Things have died and, well, might as well not tell you all about it because you won't be able to see it then. So, but yeah, so there we go. So, might as well get down on the plot. So, I'll see you down there in a second. Right, so I'm down here on the plot now, and it's an absolutely glorious day. And basically, the task, as I've said, is to get that sorted out. And so, as you can see, it's pretty much of a horrible, horrible mess. And thought they weren't allowed out, but hey-oh. But yeah, so I'm going to be getting that mess sorted out and trying to find what sort of herbs there are all still in there. Obviously I can see some of them, obviously right there there's a load of chives and there's loads of them have come through, and but I think there's some parsley tucked away somewhere over here area, and bits and bobs like that. So as well as a bunch more herb seeds that I've got that I want to get planted, and I think I'm just going to plant them directly into that soil and sort of try it out in that fashion. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's no biggie. So yeah, I'm going to try that out. And for anyone that didn't see on the actual Instagram and Facebook pages, the other day I came down here and I got all that mess sorted out, all of those blackberry bushes. And I don't know if you remember from last year, but they were pretty much like that when I got this plot last year. And then they very, very, very quickly took over, like massively took over, and then all the sort of like brambly stuff that was around the bottom just really took over, and it was just untouchable and I couldn't get anything off it at all. So basically what I've done now, as you can see, is I've stripped them massively back, even further than they were when I got the plot, just because I know how much they're going to take over again this year, and hopefully should be able to get them under control by having them like that. So I've done that. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to get cracked on with that herb garden, and I'll show you when I've got it dug over a bit. Right, so I've now got the herb garden all cleared up and sorted, as you can see behind me, and well, that took a lot longer than expected, and well, the sun is very rapidly going away, and it's also starting to drop off and get a bit chilly now, which has been red hot all day. I've actually had my shirt off all day, been boiling. Well, be honest, I did have to have a little bit of a break and sit in the sun and enjoy a nice little rum with in the sun, which was rather lovely. But so that did put time back a little bit, but I have got all that done. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the magic of cameras, and I'm going to call it a day on that for today. But I'm going to be back, well, in your time, a few seconds, but in my time, a few hours, and get back and get all that stuff planted in there tomorrow. I've been just having a bit of a mess around, looking at where I'm going to put those new plants, and obviously the ones that I've already got, just replacing them in the same place. And then I've had a go through my seeds I've got, and had a bit of a figure out what I'm thinking of planting. So yeah, so that's it for today here. But then, as I say, in a few seconds time, I'll be back down here tomorrow, ready getting that stuff in. So I'll see you then in a second. Well, hours. And I'm back, thanks to time teleportation of the camera. So, as you can see behind me, again, still is the herb garden. So obviously, as left off, going to be carrying on getting things planted. Well, getting things planted anyway. And as you can see, there's some seed packets laid around. And so I've actually already been down here for a few hours today. And what I have got done is I've got this other bed planted. Well, planted, what am I on about? Dug over, ready to get things planted. So, but first what I'm going to do is I'm going to be getting this stuff planted in the herb garden. Now the idea for here is I'll take you over here. is down here, what I'm going to be doing is, as you can see, I've obviously laid down a couple of packets already. Now what I've got here is I've actually already got my curly parsley, and this stuff has actually survived from last year, but not all of it. So what I'm going to do is, just where this packet is here, I'm going to extend it coming down just further, just so I've got a nice patch of parsley. So that's the idea for there, and all of these I'm just going to plant directly straight into the soil as well this year, rather than starting them off in the greenhouse. I'm going to try doing it like this and see what they're like. Now dill had a bit of a funny thing going on last year and it just died off. I don't know if that's the case or what, but I never got any basically because it died off before I harvested it. So yeah, that happened, but I've got loads of seeds left, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill up this area here with dill and hopefully get some good plants and some good crops off of that, because I'm hoping to do a bit of fishing later in the year once we're all allowed back out again, and obviously dill goes nice with fish, so I'm going to be doing that. Next one of what I'm going to be doing is my new thyme plant, because the old thyme plant is well, it's a bit tired out. It's a bit knackered really. It might grow back. There is some greenery on it, and it might grow back yet, but that was cheap enough in B&Q. Well, it was the kit as I showed earlier in the I think the episode before here, this one. But yeah, so basically I've got that, so that's going to get planted into there and just basically replace this what I've already got. Other tasks which I'm going to be doing is my sage plant is kind of overgrowing a bit knackered out, and it's a bit far between its leaves and everything. So I'm actually going to cut that back a little bit and try and prompt some more of these lower down shoots to grow out a bit better and everything, and try and sort of keep that a bit tighter. The next one is another died off one, which is my oregano, or oregano, however you want to pronounce it. I don't actually know what the correct pronunciation is, but yeah, everyone pronounces it different. But I've got that, and that was another plant that was cheap enough in B&Q, because my other one, yet again, is a bit like the thyme, and it's a bit tired out, and it has obviously got some greenery on it, and it's got some shoots coming through, but for the sake of just putting this plant in, I thought I'll just put this plant in. I might try just putting this into a pot and see if it will come back to life. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's no biggie. But yeah, so that's that to replace as well. As for new plants though, if you look over the top here, I've got my mint plant and my rosemary plant as well. Now those two are just going to get planted pretty much where they're sat now, but I think I said before, but the mint plant I'm leaving in the pot but putting it in the soil there. So it's actually in my herb garden, but it's not going to take over, because mint, as I said, is mint for taking over things. So if you keep it in the pot, it should stop it from taking over too much. Now the next one is coriander. Now coriander I use all the time in my cooking, and basically everything I put it in just for a bit of flavour of it. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm actually going to designate quite a large patch, this entire patch here, to coriander, and plant all of that in there, so I get lots of coriander plants, so I can get lots of seeds, dry them out, crush them up, and get some nice dried coriander. So yeah, and I will harvest some of the leaves as well to use for things like salsa and things like that. You can use that in. So but yeah, so that's that. Now one of the other things which will be getting planted in here, but I'm not actually going to be planting today, is basil, because that all died off because it doesn't like the frost. Basil, I've found out now. And so basically that's going to be getting planted here. I'm going to be putting a fairly large area, but for now that's not getting used, and that's just going to be waiting for about another month or so, and then that'll be getting planted either into here, or I might even sooner than that start some off in some pots in the greenhouse, but probably not going to be doing that today, but because it's just a bit too early still for basil. So yeah, but that's where that will be going. That'll be going right down there. And then because there's loads more room left in my herb garden, and I don't actually have like enough herbs to plant them all, basically what I'm going to do is down here you can see these two packets, and of which this one's lettuce and that one's spinach. So I'm actually going to just fill the rest of the space up with those two types of plants, get them planted direct into the soil today, and then yeah, they'll be ready and growing, and well, get growing anyway. But yeah, so I'm going to get all of that sorted down there. But then one other thing I'm going to do as well is in this bed, just in this sort of first half here, is I'm actually, if I can get them out of my pocket, I'm going to plant my spring onions as well, directly into the soil this year as well, rather than trying to transplant them. So I'm going to do that, because obviously I had them in there last year, so I'm just going to move them along and just keep doing that as the year goes on, because I know some plants don't like being where they were before. So I'm just going to keep to that and not put any plant where it was before, pretty much is the idea. So yeah, I'll crack on, get all of these seeds planted, and I'll show you that. So I've almost got everything planted now, and I just thought I'd quickly show you how I'm actually planting things into the soil directly, of the way I'm doing it. So basically all I'm doing is I've done everything apart from the parsley now. So what I'm doing is basically just getting a few seeds, and then I'm just scattering them a bit willy-nilly really in the area where I want it, just like that. Lots of seeds, but I can thin it out as ones come through. Then getting me fresh compost, and I'm just covering over the top with the fresh compost and doing it in that fashion. Just like so, until I've got a nice covering over the whole thing. Until I'm happy with it, which, yeah, I'm happy with that. Bit messy, tidy the mess up, and just give it a like nice light little pat, just to hold it all in place. And that's that. So basically that's what I've done with all of the rest of these, and now I'm going to give it all a good water. But one thing that I just thought that I have changed my mind on as I was doing it is with my lettuce, the row of lettuce, if you can just sort of see it there, and then also back there is a row of the spinach as well. Now what I've done is I've just done one row of each of them for now in there, and then in a couple of weeks time when they've sprouted through, I'll put another row in, and so on and so forth, so that I get like a continuous growth of it is the idea. So hopefully it all works out right, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's that. Now one thing I do have to do still is plant the spring onions. So I'm going to get them planted, and then that'll probably be it for planting today. So yeah, I'll do that, and then, I don't know, I'll either show you that or I'll see you back. Right, well, it's come to that time of day again, time to round things up and say goodbye and that. So I've now got everything planted. That line of spring onions is all in, obviously ready for gradually going along and adding more in, the same as I have done with the lettuce and the spinach as well. And yeah, so basically you're just got to keep watering them and wait for germinations to happen, come through. And then we'll try and protect them a bit in case anything wants them, but obviously barring that, they're all there. But yeah, that's it really for today. However, I do want to say on the coronavirus front, I do hope that every single one of you is all okay and not affected by it, you've not got it, or family members or anything like that. I really do hope that you all stay safe and are all okay and everything like that. And yeah, obviously stick to the rules. Lockdown is for a reason. Stick to the rules. Stay at home, or obviously you can go to your allotment, but stay away from people as well. You've got to stay away from people. Could not stress that, how badly this is going to spread, everything that's getting said. We mean so much we know as fact, but who knows with social media stuff at the end of the day. But stay in, stay safe, stay away from everyone. But yeah, so barring that though, thank you all very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell button, check out the Facebook and Instagram links below. And yeah, until next time, I'm Josh, been Living Not Existing. Goodbye.